Hello guys, how is everyone doing? Today I have another top 5 video for you guys, and since it is double money on the Doomsday Heists, I thought of doing a video on the top 5 most annoying things randoms do during heists. I guarantee if you played heists, you have experienced the majority of this. Some of them you can prevent, others you can't. When I say randoms, I mean people who you don't know that you play with, because this doesn't really happen with your friends because you know them. I'm not saying all randoms are bad players either, as we are all randoms to other players, but these things almost always happen with randoms. Now this video is focusing on specific things randoms do on heists. If you want to know about missions to avoid with randoms, I've already made a video on that, so there's no point talking about specific missions. In this video, we're going to be talking about specific things they do across heists. All the different heists. This can happen in almost every single heist, and they're very common and annoying. Now let's get started. Starting off at number 5 is getting kicked from heists. This often happens if you are looking for a heist to join. You just connect into the lobby and the host kicks you. I have been kicked from heists in the past, and when I message the host, why did you kick me, they often accuse me of being a modder because of my level. I tell them I'm not a modder, I earned that rank, and they don't believe me. The biggest group of players that suffer from this are low levels that try to join heists to get some money. People kick them from the heist because they assume that because they are low levels, they are not going to be good, and because of this, it's harder for low levels to play in heists. I want to clear something up. Just because someone is a low level does not mean that they will be terrible. I have played a Pacific Standard finale once with a level 9 and a rank 300. Guess who did better? The level 9, because they were listening to me. The level 9 asked me for advice because I was the host and he saw I was a much higher rank than him. He was honest with me. He told me that it was his first time doing this heist and he didn't want to mess up. The guy followed my lead, and that guy, he didn't die once in the whole heist. But the level 300 I had with me, he constantly died. I was telling him to stop, but he wouldn't listen, and he would keep rushing up. The point here is, why are people having open lobbies, inviting these people if they're going to kick them? This doesn't just happen to low levels, even though it's the most common, but it happens to higher ranked players as well. You join in a heist, you get an invite, and they just kick you out of the lobby. Why are you inviting people in the first place if you're just going to kick them out of the lobby? The only time I kick people is when they don't listen to me and they refuse to work together. Ask these people, are you willing to work with me? And if they don't respond to you or join your party, then it would be more acceptable to ask them to leave. But why are you just kicking people the second that they join into your lobby? Next at number 4, we have demanding unfair cuts. I don't have footage of this one happening, but oftentimes in heists, I have encountered randoms who join in the finale and they haven't even helped with the setup missions and they start demanding 25%. This is so ridiculous because it's unfair. The host has to pay for the heist and they don't get paid for the setup missions. The fairest cut is 40% for the host, the rest of the team gets 20% each. I have had people come into my heists and demand 25%. I even explained to a guy once that the host has to pay for the heist and they don't get paid for setup missions. And the guy said, I don't care, give me 25%. Ironically, if it was their heist, they would not give everyone 25%. I have argued with another guy once who told me he gives everyone on his heist 25%. I said to him, while you may give everyone on your heist 25%, this is my heist. Why should the host be paid less on their own heist? That's not fair. Just because you do it in your heist doesn't mean other people will do it the same in theirs. I had a guy a long time ago. I don't want to tell the whole story again because I've told it before, but he basically came into Pacific Standard finale. He was demanding 25%, claiming he was an amazing player. I told my friend to give him part of my cut because I didn't feel like waiting anymore. This guy took 25%, I took 15%, and this guy would constantly mess up and die. If you're going to demand 25% on a heist, I expect you will play perfectly with no mistakes. But I have given people 25% on heists when they were reasonable. If someone comes into my heist telling me I'm broke, I don't have a lot of money, can I have 5% more? I would give it to them out of my own cut because they asked nicely and they needed it. They didn't demand anything. One time I was doing the Pacific Standard heist and I was playing with my friend. My friend was broke. I gave him my full cut. He received 50%. And I was nice and I gave the other two randoms 25%. One guy was happy, but the other guy started complaining and saying, give me more. This isn't fair that you gave him 50%. I'm like, excuse me? This is my heist and this is my cut. I can give him my full cut if I want. I'm taking 0% here. You got an extra 5% and you want more? What are you complaining about? It's my cut. I can do with it what I want. If I want to give it to my friend, I will. Why should I give the rest of my cut to a person I don't know, and especially someone being rude to me? That makes no sense. At number 3, we have going AFK. This is also known as going away from keyboard, but what this basically means is when someone leaves their game on and doesn't play. They're basically just standing there doing nothing. Here you can see gameplay of me trying to do the Pacific Standard heist a few weeks ago, and we kept failing because one of our teammates went AFK and stayed in the bank. It took over 15 minutes for him to come back. In some missions, this won't affect the rest of the team as they can complete the mission, but in other missions where the whole team has to be at one location to progress, it will hold everyone back if that other person isn't there. This is one of the most rude things someone can do because you're holding up the rest of the team and you're wasting their time. If it's an emergency and you have to do something, then fine, I understand, but at least tell your teammates, I'm going AFK for 5 to 10 minutes. I have to do something important. I'll be right back. I'm sure the majority of your teammates will understand. Don't just leave them in the dark there, randomly going AFK, not telling them what's going on. Your teammates are going to wonder, where are you? What's going on? And they're going to get pissed off. The reason most people don't leave when someone goes AFK is because they want to finish the heist. They don't want to be put in that long loading screen again in the clouds, connecting back into free mode, and then waiting for another invite. They hope that person comes back. I have waited over 20 minutes once on the convoy mission of Pacific Standard. This guy finally came back after 20 minutes, and he had a mic. I was about to leave, he's back. I was hoping for a good reason for him being AFK for 20 minutes. I asked him, why did you go AFK? And you know what he said? He was like, oh, I was hungry, so I went to go make some food. And he was so calm in saying it too. I was like, are you kidding me? You're holding the rest of the team up for 20 minutes to get food? And the guy's like, I was hungry, what do you want from me? And I said back to him, you should have either finished your food before joining a heist or ate afterwards. Why are you joining heists if you're gonna leave to make dinner in the middle of it? This is the #1 excuse I've heard from people that go AFK. They go get something to eat. In that same lobby, one guy who did not have a mic, he overheard it, and he messaged me, I'm so done, after he heard that the guy left for food. And I don't blame that guy, he left the lobby right afterwards. I thought it was something important. I was waiting on this random guy for 20 minutes, but he left us all in the dark without telling us he was going to make food. He holds everyone up for 20 minutes. Guess who didn't get invited to the finale after that? Next, number 2, we have not cooperating. This is one of the most annoying things, and I guarantee everyone who has played Heists has experienced this one at least once. This one is difficult to prevent because you don't know how people are going to play. Like I said, rank does not matter. You could have someone who is level 300 who doesn't know what they're doing. By not cooperating, I mean making stupid decisions. Either rushing up and dying, not having snacks, not completing the objectives correctly. I see the worst fails on the easiest missions, and I ask myself, what are these people thinking? What is going through their minds when they make these decisions? The game clearly tells you at the bottom of the screen what to do. Here you can see me playing the hack setup for Pacific Standard. In this, I cleared the whole area out with my vigilante, and then some guy died after all the enemies were cleared out. Someone did not get the van, so I was going back to get it. I don't know how this guy even died. All the enemies were cleared out. What was he doing? I didn't want to show his name because I didn't want to embarrass him, but how can you possibly die when all the enemies are cleared out? He probably got run over by an NPC. Other gameplay here, you can see me doing the prison break heist, where the pilot crashed a plane before we even got into the prison. How does this happen? Then he died halfway through also. One time I was doing the plane mission for the prison break heist, and this was back when everyone rode around in Zentornos. This guy was rushing so much with the Zentorno, even though Agent 14 says in that mission, don't rush this. The guy made too much of a turn, and he crashed into that white gas barrel near the airfield. He blew up and died, and we had to start all the way from the beginning, making that huge long drive. I had a guy once join the Humane Labs finale, and he was speaking another language, and we did not understand him. He was the pilot. Despite the lack of communication, he should have been able to easily complete the mission. He kept landing the helicopter in the parking lot, and it kept failing. He was meant to fly up for us to parachute. The game clearly tells you that, but he just kept doing it, and then eventually he leaves. All he had to do was fly up, and we would have been able to parachute out. Simple, but he just kept landing in the parking lot and failing. Out of all the reasons on this list, this is the main reason I don't do heists as much anymore. I cannot stand when people don't work together as a team and cooperate. I have seen so many ridiculous fails over the years that could have easily been prevented. And the worst part about it is that when they fail, the whole team has to suffer because they constantly have to restart and do the same mission over and over again. It is really annoying. I just don't understand why people are playing heists if they're not going to work together as a team. If you're not willing to work together as a team, you should not be playing heists. They are not for you. I can say, though, that I've started using a tactic when randoms keep failing. We are all humans. Nobody is perfect. I have died in heists as well. If you die once or twice in heists, that's fine. But if you just keep dying over and over and over again, you begin to wonder to yourself, what is this guy doing? I have started using a new tactic in Heist. When someone does not listen to me and just keeps failing, I invite them to a party. If they refuse to join or listen to my messages, I message them differently. I tell them, if you don't join the party right now, I will kick you from the heist. Whenever I've done that, it has almost always worked. They join, and I tell them, if you don't cooperate with the rest of the team and you die again, I will kick you and not invite you to the finale. They don't want to be left out of the finale and cooperate. It seems harsh, but I do that only when they keep dying over and over again and they don't listen. Before I reveal the number one most annoying thing, I wanted to make a special mention. People playing loud music in the lobby. I'm sure you guys have experienced this before, and I'm not going to call out the person specifically doing it in this lobby. One person in this lobby is my friend, but the other person, the random, was just playing loud music. Not going to say their name because I don't want to embarrass them, but you know who you are, and I don't want to play that music either because I don't want to make you guys suffer. But people that just hog the mic, they get on the mic, and they start playing this loud music. And I know some people are going to tell me they just mute them, but the point of being able to talk to them is to communicate and work together as a team. I can't communicate with them as a team if they're blasting loud and annoying music on the mic or have annoying background noise. If you're going to hog the mic with music, then you would think at least they would play something good, but the majority of the time when I listen to their music, I'm like, what is this? And number one, the most annoying thing randoms do in heists is leave the heist or sabotage it. Yes, I have seen people actually sabotage heists. It has happened. People don't get their way, they either aren't happy with their 20% cut and decide to ruin the heist for everyone, or they're just trolls. I would say 10% of the time is when I see someone sabotage it intentionally. The other 90% are people leaving the heist. If someone gets disconnected or their game crashes, that's fine, it happens. But to leave the heist on purpose is one of the most rude things you can possibly do. Your team is counting on you, and you just leave. When someone leaves the heist, that tells me a lot about that person, that they don't value other people's time. They have no problem in ruining other people's experiences. Here in this clip, I was doing a heist with randoms. This one guy would not get in my Kuruma. He refused to stay with the team, he rushed up and died, even on normal difficulty. Then he left right after that, forcing us all back into free mode. I understand things come up and you have to do something, but if I need to do something, I never leave in the middle of a heist setup or a finale. I tell my teammates, guys, I gotta do something important. I then drive myself with a Kuruma somewhere safe so the enemies don't kill me, and I let them complete the mission. Depending on how long I will be gone, I will tell them not to wait for me and not invite me. I tell them to go get someone else, but I always finish the last mission if I have to go. I never leave in the middle of a mission and mess my teammates up. That is the most annoying thing anyone can do, because you can be 95% done with a mission, a really long mission, and then someone leaves it. It automatically fails, and then you get put back in the clouds and into free mode. Then you have to wait for the host to get back into their apartment, then invite everyone, and you have to wait for everybody to rejoin the lobby. I don't understand why people are joining heists if they're gonna leave right before the mission ends. If they would have waited a few more minutes, it would have completed. Instead, they choose to waste everyone's time. And that is my list, guys. Can you guys tell me any other annoying things that you have experienced during heists? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. If you're new to my channel and enjoy my content, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.